looking real nice. I don't know what's wrong with it. Hell, you got the bar on upside down. That's why the chain flew off. Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all well. Different little video here on chain grinding. I started out doing something different, but kind of changed my mind. It's about the Chicago Electric Harbor Freight grinder. I'm not knocking it, not telling anyone really not to buy it, but I kind of am. You're better off buy yourself a box of round files. You're really better off if you're wanting to grind, spending a little more money and getting like a Oregon 410-120 or the Tecomec Jolly Evo or something equivalent to that, one of the knockoffs. Looks like Farmer Tech's making one now, but I hadn't used this grinder in a long time. The last few chains I'd ground with it were like the 3/8 Low Pro, the little semi-chisel or whatever they are. Does pretty good on those. About anything else, move up to 325, you can get them to cut, which is what I'm going to show here, just grinding a little bit. It'll cut, it'll self-feed, but it's mainly to do with like the head angle on the grinder. There's no downward tilt adjustment at all. The angles on it are just not even close. I just realized that myself. Maybe you can look at the cutters, the difference in them when I show them a little bit, but 25 degrees on the Tecomec and 25 degrees on the Harbor Freight's just like a daylight to dark difference. Should probably put a degree finder on it and see how bad it's actually off, but I think I'm just going to take that thing down and maybe pick up another Tecomec, or maybe even try the Farmer Tech, put the smaller wheel on it, and you know, just leave it there to do 3/8 Low Pro and the 325. I actually just reground this 325 with the big wheel that's meant to do 3/8, big 3/8 and 404 chain, but kind of a pointless video, but maybe not. It may steer someone into a better route, get them a little better cutting chain. But again, take that. You can get those things for 20 bucks, the coupon. I've had this one for going on 9 years, so I can't complain. I learned to use it back in the beginning. It does okay. I just put the new wheel on it, which done nothing. I don't know what the material those wheels are made from, but they last forever. You know, you'll look at the cutter, you'll feel it and say, well, damn, this thing's like a razor. It's got a good beak, and have you, it will cut. If you're in smaller stuff, it just slices through it like hot butter. But put it in something 10, 12 inches or larger, and you know, if you've ever ran, you know, a better ground or better filed chain, something that's real hungry, you know, has a lot of self pull to it, you may not like that. You know, you may like the way that grinder grinds. I've seen a lot of guys say that they love it. On me, on the little cheap 3/8 Low Pro stuff, it does great. You know, I think that's about all it was designed to do. Some 325 stuff, like a semi-chisel, it does really well, but a full chisel, you know, not so great. You'd have to set the drags like super low to get it as hungry as I would want it to be. But at the end of the day, I'll probably just pull this one down out of this shop and replace it with something a little better. But with that said, I'm going to show a few clips here grinding with it. Show what the cutter looks like, show it in a couple pieces of wood, and then you'll see the chain reground. We're not going to touch the drags or anything with the Tecomec grinder, and I'm about to go back out and put it in another piece of wood, and I'm willing to bet it has a lot more pull to it. Okay guys, I think we're set up. I've done ground one side of the chain, and before we get into this, some downfalls to this grinder. It's flimsy, it's plastic, it's China's finest. I know someone's gonna say Chinese garbage, blah blah blah. Like I said, I've had this one going on 9 years. At one point I didn't even have it I didn't even have the thing mounted anywhere, and it was just like thrown around the shop, laid in the bottom of boxes, and I'd just pull it out when I needed it. But for a long point in time when I bought it, I used it quite a bit. But things I don't like about it, this is the one that has like the bicycle handle at the top of it, like a brake handle you'd see on a bicycle or a four-wheeler or something. It's got a cable runs down. I've got y'all zoomed way to hell in. And tightens up the vise. Something I don't like about it is this. It's just not very centered or accurate. None of it is. And you do have to adjust the adjustment for the cutter depth. Going from one side of the chain to the other. So don't make that mistake of thinking you can just spin the vise around. We're at 25 degrees. This head angle's probably 60 degrees or something. I don't know. It's non-adjustable. You have your depth knob up top, just like the other chain in some of the other videos. I set it just a little bit above the drive links of the chain. Like I said, I think we're good to go here. We'll see. I've ground one cutter already, and it is time consuming with this. This is a new wheel on this. There was nothing wrong with the old one. I don't know what those are made out of. You're not going to overcook the chain with it. It's not very aggressive at all. You can screw up a chain with it. It will cut a cutter right in two if you're flying through one and have one of those chains like this one that has two cutters on the same side, just one in a row where the chain was looped. Not pay attention. You can whack one right in two. I've done a many. I'm sure some of you other guys have too. Maybe you have, maybe you ain't. But is it gonna get the same finish as our other Tech-O-Mac Oregon grinder? Probably not, because we can't adjust all the angles, and I don't know what this rock is, but it doesn't do half bad either. I know a lot of guys say they can hand file and get a better result. I probably can too, but sometimes it's, good just to bring them in and put them in the grinder and get, somewhat of an angle back consistent on the chain. And, this thing's passive. I'm not taking a shit ton of material away, regardless of how many times I bump. See where we're at. That's like a razor. It's got a good beak on it. Very, very sharp. Well, I'll do a few here for you guys, and then I'll finish the loop. Man, that cutter there looks like it's been smashed. There was one on the other side that smashed all to hell. I probably just need to grind off of the chain. That's what I do if I've got a cutter that's just all to hell. You have to take a mile off of it to get an edge. I just take it over to the bench grinder. I grind that cutter off of it. I grind the drag off of it, and again, it's like a razor. I hope the camera's picking up the cutter. We'll get an up close of it after I do a couple more. But this one I got the coupon. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it. I think I gave them like $4 for the 2-year warranty, because I'd planned on using it a lot. But you can still see, still smooth as can be, still as powerful as it ever was, and that cutter will shave you guys. I'll finish the rest of this side of the loop and I'll bring you guys back and give you a look. Guys, I hope I have that in focus. It looks in focus. When I get it up on the saw, I'll try to get some still shots of it, but Not bad. Like I said, it's not the edge that you'll get. I mean, it's sharp. It's like a razor, but it's not the same corner or cutter that you'll get with the, the better grinder. But they do cut. They will pull a chip. And it's good just to get everything evened back out every now and then. But I can see myself in the future, after using the vitrified rock on the Tacoma grinder, I can see myself getting another one of those grinders and sitting right where the old Harbor Freight one's sitting at, and then it may be going back in the bottom of a toolbox or somewhere. But there's the grinder in question. If you missed the other videos, there's the other grinder. Like I said, I've used that thing as a ring fowler quite a bit. If you're not doing that chain grinding was probably a waste of time. That's actually the hardwood setting on that. And I'm having to take those down 18 to 20 good clean swipes, and that file, the camera will pick it up, that file's still short. Is what it is. I think I'd set them with the Oregon gauge the last time, the progressive gauges like this, or the other Husky one. That's the only 325 one I have. They actually take them down quite a bit over the factory spec Oregon one that just kind of lays over the chain. But these things here will actually just lay a flat file in it. They'll actually put a really good edge on the chain until you get about halfway back, and then it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work that well. But anyway, okay guys, so if that's picking up, intermission. I forgot why I bought a better grinder. I went out and made some cuts with that, and they are the cuts you'll see here before this. In the smaller piece of wood, the first cut was self-feed, second cut was me pushing on it, and then the bigger wood was me laying on the saw pretty hard on the dogs. It's throwing chips. It'll self-feed, it'll cut, but it's not what I'm used to. But this cutter is from the Tacoma grinder, and I didn't change the wheel. I just left the big wheel on it that's meant for 3/8 404. But I'm willing to bet that cuts better without even touching the drags, which is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put it back on, go make some more cuts, and we'll wrap this up. Obviously that saw has enough horsepower and torque that we could set things a lot more aggressive, but for the wood I'll be cutting with it, it'll do just fine. Anyway guys, y'all have a good one.